Good morning. If I am one of the lucky people who have this common cold that's going around, chances are I won't have a voice by Monday, so I am recording this on Sunday so that we can discuss rotations. So let's just take a quick minute and read the short paragraph about rotations. A rotation or turn in a coordinate plane is done by rotating a point or shape around a point of rotation. The point of rotation most commonly used is the origin, and we should know this word origin from first semester when we talked about proportional and non-proportional, but if you don't remember, an origin is the point 0, 0, and it's the center point of rotation, and all points rotate around that point. So they should all be equidistant from 0, 0, so all the same distance from 0, 0. Directional words like clockwise and counterclockwise are used, and measurement for rotation is given in degrees. For example, 90 degrees or 180 degrees. We won't be doing degrees in 270 or 360 because that is not in our standard. So a rotation is a turn. Whether it's in the coordinate plane or not, it's a turn. And it's done by rotating a point or shape around a point of rotation. The most commonly used point of rotation is the origin, which is 0, 0. All points rotate about this point. Words like clockwise and counterclockwise, we need to know which way those directions are. And rotation is given in degrees. So we're going to try the first one together. It's the same coordinate points that we did on reflections. So A is at -1, 0, B is at -4, 2, and C is at -2, 4. So I'm going to pause my video and go ahead and graph them. Okay, so A should be at -1, 0, B is at -4, 2, and C is at -2, 4. And if you wanted to draw the lines, that's fine. We are going to rotate this triangle ABC 90 degrees clockwise around the origin. So I'm going to take my patty paper, and I'm going to use the corner like I did last week, and I am going to mark point A and label it, mark point B and label it, and mark point C and label it. I'm also going to mark something that can help me measure 90 degrees. Can you think of what can help us measure 90 degrees that's already on our graph? So just like reflections, I'm going to mark a little plus sign, and the plus sign I'm going to mark is the origin, 0, 0, because this can help me measure 90 degrees. Each corner of that plus sign, each corner of the axis is 90 degrees. So I'm rotating 90 degrees clockwise. Clockwise is to the right. So I'm going to rotate this plus sign until this vertical line becomes this horizontal line. And then I'm going to place it back on the origin. Now, the strategy I used last Friday where I marked them, that's not going to work because there's no pencil below it, but hey, it kind of did. Where's the last one? So I have to put it back to find the last one. So this one's A prime, and this one's B prime, and this one's C prime. So what are the new coordinates? A is no longer on the x-axis, it's now on the y-axis, so it's at 0, 1. B is no longer in quadrant 2, it's in quadrant 1, so it's now at 2, 4. And C prime is no longer in quadrant 2, it's also in quadrant 1, and it's 4, 2. So if we look at our original coordinates, from -1 to 0, we went from 0 to 1. So our two x and y values switched, and then the x values that were the original x values became positive. So they switched, and y values are the opposite. Of the original x values. So if this had been positive, if we switched it, it would be negative. Are the two shapes congruent? Meaning, are they the same size and same shape? Yes. triangle ABC. Now we haven't talked about that, but that's a symbol for congruent. It's congruent to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay, I'm going to pause my video and graph A, B, and C for the next example, and then hit unpause. So A, B, and C should be in the same place as they were on the reflections page and on the previous example, but this time we're rotating it 180 degrees. So I'm going to use my same piece of patty paper. I've already marked A, B, and C from the previous example. I already marked the origin with my little plus sign, but now I need to measure 180 degrees. So if one turn is 90, 2 turns is 180. Now the question is, does it matter which way you turn it? Do I have to turn it 180 degrees clockwise or 180 degrees counterclockwise? Or does it not matter at all? And how many turns is 180 degrees? So 180 degrees doesn't matter. It's the same as if you were facing forward and you turned over your right shoulder to look backwards, or if you turned over your left shoulder. So it's 2 turns on the plus sign. So there's 1 turn, 90 degrees. It should match this picture. 2 turns, 180 degrees. So A should be here, B should be here, and C should be here. Now, if I don't believe myself, I can put it back, and I can take it 1 turn to the left and 2 turns to the left, and A should be here, and B should be here, and C should be here. So this one's A prime, this one's B prime, and this bottom one down here is C prime. If you look, they should kind of make a line to each other. So the new coordinates, A prime is on the opposite side of the y-axis, so now it's at 1, 0. B prime is no longer in quadrant 2, it's in quadrant 4, which is 4, -2. And C is also, so that is 2, -4. So if we look at our original points, A, B, and C, they're in the same order, except both of them have become the opposite values. So X and Y become their opposites. And hopefully you know that the two shapes are congruent because they're the same size, same shape. They don't have to be the same orientation to be congruent. They just have to be the same size and same shape. So yes, triangle A, B, C. Again, the symbol is an equal sign with a squiggly line above it, means congruent to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. So hopefully you feel the most comfortable with rotations. I feel like after doing reflections, you should be pretty comfortable with the patty paper. And on the practice problems, I don't ask you to write the coordinate points, but you do need to make sure you're labeling them and that you're putting your prime symbols in. Okay, so I'm going to pass out the practice problems now and get working.